Hello and welcome to this episode of War Eagle Weekly. We are finally here at fall camp. The season is right around the corner. Josh, there is so much that we need to talk about, and I just cannot wait to jump right in. So, how are you doing first off and foremost?
I'm doing okay, man. Just celebrated a birthday. I'm way too old, and I mean this is going to be the longest 24 days ever. Counting down the start of the season, is this going to drag?
Yep. And not only was it your birthday, but I forgot that it was your birthday and had to wish you
Yes, you
a
did.
happy birthday afterwards. But hey, that's nothing new for me. I'm terrible with that sort of stuff. So, Josh, fall camp has finally arrived. What are you looking forward to coming out of camp?
I'm looking forward to just hearing about the growth and progress of Jackson Arnold. I know there's a lot of things going on and being said, especially by Hugh Freeze about the defense being told to take it easy on Jackson Arnold so he can get his confidence back up. And to be honest, I know there's a lot of controversy around that. I have no problem with that. That was spring ball. That's the point of spring
Yes,
ball,
that
is to get
was.
back into the
Yep.
groove of it. I mean, it's fall camp. If they start doing that, that's when I'm going to be a little concerned. But if I continue to hear great things about Jackson Arnold and the progress and the timing he's getting with these receivers, the
Mm-hmm.
more optimistic I'm going to be.
Yeah, the thing that I'm looking for is, first off, I want to I want to hear that we have some continuity along the offensive line. I want to hear that our players are hitting the ground running, that we are just firing on all cylinders heading into Baylor, because it's a tough matchup that first week, and there's a lot on the line. And so I want to be hearing nothing but positive things. I don't want to be hearing any sort of negative stuff coming out of camp, because that just answers more, or I'm sorry, it just creates more questions that everyone is going to be having. There isn't an Auburn fan out there right now that isn't, nervous about the upcoming season and what to expect.
I mean, at the same time, you don't want no sunshine pumping crap getting your hopes up only for them to be crushed day one. Like I want the truth. I want shit to be laid out to me straight. Don't beat around the bush. Just friggin' look me in the eye and punch me in the nose. That's how I want it.
Well, right now I need the sunshine pumping, because my pessimistic side is starting to rear its ugly head. For those that have been listening or following us this summer, I showed an entirely new version of myself where I was super excited for everything that was going to be happening this season. Now all of a sudden fall camp starts. I feel like I've already been kicked in the gonads, and so I need that encouragement. I need to hear that sunshine pumping just to make me feel better. But I totally get where you're coming from. I would say that a majority of fans are probably aligned with you. So coming out last week was a few players that people were talking about as some of your fall camp risers. You have some in the spring, your springtime warrior. You have some right before the season starts, and then they disappear. But there's two big major ones that really come to mind as far as risers that everyone is talking about. Josh, which one are you most excited for? I'm going to let you pick which one.
I keep hearing way more than two names. I can name off five right now that I keep hearing about, but the ones I'm hearing the most about, I don't know if these are the ones you're hearing the most about. The ones
I
I'm hearing the
think it
most about
is.
are Perry Thompson and Jordan Crawford. Those are the two I'm
Ooh,
hearing the
okay.
most about.
Okay. I haven't heard much about Jordan Crawford, but okay. But so what are you hearing about Perry Thompson, and what are you hearing about Jordan Crawford? Because I have someone completely different in mind.
I'm hearing that Perry Thompson is a route merchant. The dude knows how to run routes, and no one can stick to him. And I'm hearing his hands are sticky as glue. I mean, he's not dropping
Okay.
anything. And Jordan Crawford, I mean, he's obviously a new guy on campus, and he's just grasping the defense very, very fast and is looking at significant playing time this year.
Jordan Crawford, he's that defensive end out of where did he come from? Is that right?
Yeah, he's a defensive lineman.
Yeah, that's what I
He's out of
thought.
Parker.
That's right. That's right. The freshman. I was thinking a transfer, but no, yeah, freshman. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, he's a freshman.
We're already moved on to 2026 recruiting. I've almost forgotten some of the players. Now, some of the things that I heard about Perry Thompson, because that was one of the two that I was specifically referring to. They posted the practice speeds that for a top, I think it was the top 5 players, and Perry Thompson was the fastest. He was the only one over 20 miles an hour, and he was
21.87
killing it.
miles an hour.
Yep, exactly. Which, I mean, this dude was a 5-star that once he committed to Auburn was, as all 5-stars are, downgraded to a 4-star. The only 5-star that I know of that was named a 5-star and stayed a 5-star would be Deuce Knight. I've never heard of anyone.
It'd be Malik Autry, because Deuce Knight was actually downgraded to 4-star on a bunch of recruiting sites as well. But Malik Autry, consensus 5-star.
Yeah. So, but like you said, he is just killing it right now. Now, there is a video that was just posted a couple of days ago of Perry Thompson not making a catch in the end zone, having a great play on the ball from the defensive back. So can't really, fault him too much for that. But I too have heard an amazing fall camp from Perry Thompson. And to kind of tell everybody how I'm starting to get pessimistic, you sent me that, Perry Thompson's having a great camp. And I said,
it's only been 2 days.
2 practices. And you were like, dude, just enjoy it. But for me, the other player that came to mind for me was Omar Madsen. The
running back, the freshman running back.
The running back from Auburn, who reclassified to be in last year's recruiting cycle. Yeah. This dude was a consensus 2026 4-star running back that was downgraded to a 3-star because he reclassified and should be a senior in high school, but apparently is picking everything up. Hugh Freeze has said positive things about him. Hugh Freeze has talked about how he's ahead of essentially Alvin Henderson, which isn't too surprising considering the level of competition while they had in high school. But Omar seems to be getting a lot of hype, and there's a lot of people that are really excited about him. Zach Blackerby continues to trumpet Omar's name and say that Omar is going to go down as one of the best running backs in this room. And by the time his time at Auburn is done, he'll be one of the greats. I'm all for it. And something else that we've talked about is there's not a running back in this room that we're like super confident about. And there's not a running back in this room that we're like, yeah, they are the clear heir apparent to Jarquez Hunter. Like when Tank left, everyone knew.
It's like the first time in Auburn history where we haven't had a clear number one running back coming into the season. It's just we got guys that can run the ball. We all know that. But not one of them has been an Auburn starter for consistent games. I think Damari Alston was the starter while Jarquez was suspended.
So, yeah.
That's about the length of his starting career. So, I mean, this is just a running back room that's basically up in the air if anyone's to grab. So, I mean, the best man's going to play. That's just the bottom line with the running back room.
Yeah. And the other thing that Omar is impressing me on is the fact, again, he should be in high school and he's already out there picking up on the playbook and hopefully picking up blitzes as well, because I'm sure he's going to need every bit of experience that he can have right now in fall camp. But Perry Thompson and Omar were the 2 biggest risers that I had heard about. Let's move on to some of those that have fallen stock. And for me, one of the biggest ones was Jackson Arnold, like you alluded to in the beginning of the podcast.
Just because of what Hugh Freeze said during spring ball. I know you really didn't like that. I know you really didn't. But
You know,
like again, it's spring ball.
that had something to do with it until I heard about the fact that that was back in the spring. So that one doesn't really bother me, that observation. But some of the things that have been coming out in the last couple days has been a lot of people saying that he's holding on to the ball too long. And with these wide receivers with our defensive line, okay, as he really shouldn't be holding on to the ball that long. And
What's
so
too
that's
long?
got me worried a little bit.
What's too long?
Sorry. Long enough for the pass rush to get there. That's too long. What do you have? Less than 3 seconds to get the ball out on a consistent basis. If you're holding it far longer than that, then that's an issue. So yeah, anything longer than 3 seconds in my book is too long, and you should be getting rid of the ball. Especially with these receivers. We've seen clips of Eric Singleton getting separation from the defensive backs. We've seen Cam Coleman getting separation. You talked about Perry Thompson running crisp routes. There should be no reason for him to hold on to the ball.
I agree. There really shouldn't, like you said, especially with the talent we have at wide receiver. And I think the most glaring and obvious player that is losing stock right now is definitely Malcolm Simmons. I don't want to spend any time talking about Malcolm Simmons because we all know what's going on with that. He's got a hearing on the 13th. We should know more after that. The one that I would say was losing stock big time coming into fall would be DeMarcus Riddick, because apparently he had a very crappy spring, like he was not happy at all. And now he's just turned it around full circle and is just blowing up in the fall so far. So that one to me, I don't know how to take it right now. I don't know if there is any sunshine pumping going on around DeMarcus Riddick because he really did have a crappy spring or not. I just want to hear more good news about DeMarcus Riddick before I start to get off of the train of him losing his stock.
Okay, which is fair, because we need a lot from him. I mean, that's 100% something that needs to happen. We need a lot from him.
Yeah, like big time. We really need as much help as we can possibly get in the linebacker room. We need all the help. I know this isn't about falling stock, but right now I want to talk about somebody that deserves the recognition, and that's Robert Woodyard. Yep. Robert Woodyard has been running ones in practice and is apparently he has placed himself above the rest of the linebackers apparently, and I feel like he has earned this praise and should be talked about. I should have brought it up before we got on the next subject, but I was talking linebackers, and it just popped in my head. It just clicked.
Yep. Hey, no, sometimes that's how it works. So yeah, no, I agree. We need a lot from DeMarcus Riddick. We need every linebacker really to step up. We need Robert Woodyard as well to continue on having the production that he's had. For me, one of the people that are losing some stock is Xavier Miller. After the spring or during the spring, it kind of felt like he was competing for that number 2 spot, or I'm sorry, that number 1 spot at right tackle. And based off of what Hugh Freeze has said recently about how the draft grades for the starting 5 linemen and too tall being draftable linemen for the NFL next year, it kind of seems like he's lost that battle for the starting right tackle. And from what I've heard, they've kind of been moving him all around the line so he's going to get playing time because Hugh Freeze loves to, use a lot of linemen throughout the season and throughout games. But at the same time, it's not the same as having a starting position on the line. So for me, I think too tall is one of the, those that are losing some stock here in fall camp. So is there anybody else that comes to mind for you as far as those that have falling stock right now? It's been a lot of good news coming out of fall camp.
Been
Everything
a
seems to be
lot
really
of good
good.
news. Well, again, other than really Malcolm Simmons, I can't really think of anyone.
Yeah. And Malcolm Simmons was one of mine as well, but I agree with you. I don't really want to get into it until we find out, everything that's going on with that as far as whether he's cleared to even play or not. He is cleared to practice, but we'll leave it at that. So I agree that he is definitely someone that's falling. So, Josh, what should we expect as we continue fall camp and as we head into the season with this team? Because there's some sunshine pumping. There's some people that are doom and gloom like myself, and then there's a lot of kind of in between. So for you, what are you expecting heading into the season?
Heading into the season, I'm expecting a lot more discipline. That's what I'm really expecting, especially out of the defense and more specifically in the defensive backfield. I expect more discipline, and I want to see more accountability for sure. If something bad happens, I don't want to see finger pointing. I don't want to see players yelling at coaches. I don't want to see players yelling at players. That's what I would like to see, not what I'm expecting, because these are kids we're talking about for the most part. But all in all, I would expect more discipline at the very least.
Okay. And that's definitely, something to strive for, because we did have quite a few penalties last year, specifically in special teams, that hurt us. And so for me, that's where I'm headed. A lot more consistency on special teams, whether that's the kicking game, that is the return game. I mean, we need to see a lot more points from our special teams unit. And I think that we have the players in place. If Alex McPherson can get back to where he was prior to his illness, that's going to be a huge boost. I mean, if you sit here and you talk about how many points were left on the board because we didn't believe in the kicker we had, there's a difference of 2 or 3 games that we win last year
Absolutely.
if we had a kicker. And so that's what I need to see. Is I don't care which kicker steps up, but I need to see a kicker step up, because we're going to need them come the season. After that, I want us to figure something out in the running back rotation. I want to see, I don't care who it is at this point. If it's Damari, I am ecstatic, because he has just done everything right as far as sticking around and waiting his turn. And technically, it should be his turn. But he's got to hold on to the ball and he's got to finish runs. And he just hasn't had that ability yet. And he hasn't shown that to us in the past 3 years. He is, if memory serves, he's the lone survivor. Jeremiah Wright, lone survivor of the potato famine. And those two guys, there's no one else around. So I want him to succeed. I want him to have some success. So I want to see him step up. I want to see him win the starting position and to really just hammer home that he is the heir apparent to Jarquez Hunter. That's what I expect.
I mean, that's a reasonable expectation. If he does get that nod, I would also expect him to get rid of the fumbling problem. I would expect him to be more disciplined in that area and hold on to the damn ball. So I would love nothing more than Damari Alston. Hell, I'd love nothing more than Jeremiah Cobb to win the running back job. But yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, way to bring it full circle. And with that, Josh, I want to remind everybody, use our link below. Go to fanatics.com for all the new Nike gear that is coming out. I am still waiting to figure out what I want to be spending my money on, but I look forward to everything that they're going to have to offer. So use our affiliate link below. Helps us out quite a bit. And
it all looks so good.
It really, really does.
It really
does. So until next week, and hopefully we get more on a routine going now that we are done with our vacations and whatnot. But War Eagle, Josh.
War damn Eagle.